What happens to the children in your charge before they get to school has a significant impact on the rest of their day. You put a lot of trust and responsibility in Laidlaw's bus drivers. Unacceptable behavior on the bus can be very, very dangerous. Our drivers' attention must never be taken off the road. Put yourself in their seat for just a minute. What would you do if this happened on your bus?
Will you all please take your seats and quiet down?
In a perfect world, or in a movie, this is what would happen.
We're sorry, it won't happen again.
But we don't live in a perfect world. All too often, their response is more like this.
Gotta help!
The safe transportation of students is a difficult task, to say the least. When students become unruly, the job becomes nearly impossible. A distracted driver cannot effectively practice safe driving, and the students' lives are put in danger. Effective student management cannot come from the driver alone. You've dedicated your lives to education, and student management just goes with the territory. We believe that student management is a partnership.
Well, it's very hard to drive a bus when there's children in the background fighting or running around or hitting one another, and it's very distracting. You know, it can cause an accident. You're looking in your rearview mirror, you're yelling at children when you should have your eyes on the road.
Each day, all over North America, Laidlaw bus drivers transport over 1.2 million students to school and home again after school. Each year, Laidlaw spends millions of dollars on school bus transportation, training, and safety. And our drivers drive billions of miles. Obviously, we take this responsibility very seriously. It's because we take this so seriously that we've come to you to ask you to join us in a partnership. What kind of problems do we trade back and forth each day? You know better than anyone the truth of the following statistics. In 1940, a survey was taken to find the 7 most common problems in American schools. The number 1 problem was students talking. Pretty laughable by today's standards, isn't it? The other 6 problems in order were chewing gum, students making noise, running in the halls, getting out of line, wearing improper clothing, and missing the trash can. The same survey was taken again in 1992. This time the results were a little different. Drug abuse was the number 1 problem. The others were alcohol abuse, pregnancy, suicide, rape, robbery, and assault.
Student behavior carries over from the bus to the school and vice versa. The only successful method for creating a more positive behavior is to work together. Bus drivers and school personnel don't usually talk to each other unless there is a problem. Our goal is to make sure these lines of communication are kept wide open. We need your input and cooperation. One of the areas we believe we must work together is in student discipline. Our experience has taught us that poor discipline on the bus leads to accidents.
We train and educate our drivers better than any other transporter because we believe our drivers have a responsibility to be professionals. We're entrusting our drivers with our children and their futures. Not just anyone can be a Laidlaw driver. After all, parents don't want to trust their children to just anyone. All of our drivers go through a series of classroom and on-the-road training programs. The overriding theme in all of this training is professionalism and safety. Along with this program, you've been given a copy of the student management program we use to train our drivers and our management. We want you to see what they're learning and where they need your support most. To try and communicate acceptable and unacceptable behavior in students, we try to show our drivers examples of each. We understand that kids will be kids, and we don't intend to bring this normal excitability to your attention. We don't want our drivers to cry wolf. At Laidlaw, we like to use the team analogy when talking about our employees working together. On the student management team, we're telling them that they should look to you as the coach.
Usually in times of concern, when there is a problem that occurs on a bus, it generally takes a great deal of communication and a great deal of effort on the part of both the district and the Laidlaw to really look at it closely. We're dealing with children's lives. We're dealing with the effect and impact that a bus ride has on a child before they get to school or even after school. When a concern arises, we sit, we discuss, and we go through many of the procedural, established procedural policies that we have in place. And in doing so, we look at where we can intervene and attempt to put together a better plan to enhance our efforts at making sure youngsters have what they need to be successful both to school and after school.
We recognize that sometimes a student's parents or guardians have to become involved in the discipline process. In these instances, we're relying on your support and cooperation. Students' parents remember how it was when they were in school or when they rode the bus. Their teachers and bus drivers had more authority than we do today. Times have changed, and so has student behavior. As you know, we can't always discipline students the way we would like, or the way we were disciplined when we were students. Only their parents can do that. We need their support, and they won't give it unless we ask them for it. Laidlaw has instituted the 4-step student management program. We consider it to be the minimum we need to effectively manage students. The first consequence given is always a warning. Obviously, giving a child a directive like take your seat or quiet down is not, and does not deserve a formal warning. Warnings are for unruly conduct such as continuous yelling or swearing, throwing things, refusing to follow directions, pushing and shoving other students, etc. Students are separated from their friends, either dropped off last or asked to wait a minute before they go into school. The warning is given after everybody leaves. When a warning is given, step 1, at the end of the shift, the driver makes a written report of the incident and takes it to his or her supervisor. They use the Laidlaw Bus Conduct Report unless your school district requires a different form. The driver fills out the report sheet completely with the date, approximate time of the incident, description of the incident, child's name, driver's name, bus number, supervisor's name, and any additional comments, such as how the student responded when spoken to. The report will include precisely what the student did. We believe that if you don't use discipline specifically, you can't expect a change in behavior. It is easier for them to stop throwing trash than it is for them to stop misbehaving. Both driver and supervisor sign the report sheet, even if there is not a designated line for both. A copy of this report is sent to you, the school officials. Step 2. If students continue to act up, it may be necessary to give them another warning. The procedures for the second warning are the same as the first. A filled-out report sheet indicating a second warning goes to the supervisor, and both supervisor and driver sign it. When a second warning is issued, a Laidlaw manager-supervisor will contact the school and ask you to contact the child's parents or guardian about the incidents. The driver will not make this phone call. In many districts, only school personnel have the authority to directly contact the child's parents. In other districts, our supervisor will contact them. We will follow your policy. In some cases, such as severe violence, seriously abusive language, or sexual misconduct, the child's parents may need to be contacted immediately. This is a serious decision. Our driver and supervisor review the incident to find out if they both feel it's necessary to call the student's parents immediately. Then we will discuss the incident with you and ask you to make a final decision. Our supervisor will relay this to the driver before any action is taken. Step 3. If there's a third warning, our supervisor will recommend to you that all riding privileges be suspended until a face-to-face conference is arranged between the school, the parents, the child, and a representative from Laidlaw. The conference is designed to determine what further action will be taken. Step 4. A fourth warning means Laidlaw will suggest that the child no longer be allowed to ride. We recommend this because we feel that failing to remove a problem student could result in injury to all the rest of the students. If you have a different policy other than expulsion for repeat offenders, we will use that instead. Our concern is that strong action is taken. We don't take contacting a student's parents lightly. We look to you for leadership. You have the experience with managing students and dealing with their families, and you have the ability to share your experiences with us. We're going to stop the tape now and ask for your input on the four-step process and how it does or does not relate to your policies.
The whole reason we are coming to you is that we need your feedback and cooperation. Sometimes, in spite of our efforts to serve, we may miss something. Without your input, we can only be good. We need you to help us be the best.
If I'm having a problem on my boss, I can call the school officials. School officials will meet me at a location that I'm at, help me out with this problem. They've been very helpful in the past years.
The best way to communicate is to communicate effectively. And to do so, it means people to sit down and to talk and to discuss the areas of concern and areas in which we can improve for better communication. Over the years, we've communicated with Laidlaw. Both Laidlaw and the district have spent a great deal of time communicating. However, more recently, I believe and firmly believe that we have had a successful and more effective communication because of the concentrated focus on very specific issues. Because of that, our communication has dramatically increased, and I feel very good about that.
Thank you for your attention during this program. We value the relationship we have with schools like yours and want to be more involved, professional to professional, in making that relationship even better. We share the responsibility for shaping the next generation. Only through cooperation and effective communication can we make the future better. Thank you.